Welcome to HKB. I'm Leon.
I'm Shaz, and this is the channel where we go to Hong Kong and beyond.
In particular, we have received a Blu-ray from Imprint Films over in Australia, Little Buddha from 1993.
This film is directed by Bernardo Bertolucci.
An ancient legend. An American family. A prince in search of truth. A master in quest of a miracle.
So you're here in Seattle to find someone?
Yes, we are looking for his reincarnation.
So this film stars Keanu Reeves, and it was before John Wick, before The Matrix, even before Speed, but it was after Point Break. And it's an unusual choice for him. Bernardo Bertolucci is more well known for films that are a little bit art house but very colourful. Films like The Last Emperor and The Conformist. He's a great director, and this film here, I would say, is evidence of that. I never watched this when it first came out, but I've always been curious seeing Keanu Reeves in a role like that. And this is loosely based on a true story about how some Tibetan monks were looking for the reincarnation of the Buddhist Lama. And it also mixes in the tale of a prince as well, who is played by Keanu Reeves. Originally, I thought this film looked somewhat like The Golden Child, which I thought was a bit of an odd mix for Bertolucci. But I have to say, just going to it now, I think this film holds up. I think it looks and feels really great and quite spiritual.
Definitely. I agree with that. I felt quite emotional watching this film, actually, pretty much from the word go.
Yeah, it's easy to see why. There's a lot of philosophy, a lot of spiritualism, and you know, you don't often get films like this today.
No.
Bertolucci, he uses great people, and the way the film looks, the colours in it, it's so sumptuous, but it's used to portray the mood in each scene. Like when we're in Seattle, in some scenes, there's a lot of blue and dreariness.
Yeah.
And yet when we're over, it's not Tibet, is it? Was it Tibet?
I think some of it was Tibet. I think some of it might have been Kathmandu.
Kathmandu, yeah. When we were there, the colours with like the temples and the streets and the markets and, you know, the cloths and the robes that everybody was wearing, and a lot of the stories told in flashbacks.
Yes.
When they go back to the prince. Was it Siddhartha? Prince Siddhartha, played by Keanu Reeves, and he's looking for enlightenment. His father wanted him to become a king, but some old wizened like scholar tells him that he's going to be something else, and the king refuses to accept that. And it shows him try to keep him within this city, and you know, because he doesn't want him to stray from his path, but he gets a wandering eye and wants to see the world outside. And in the modern day, we have a little boy whose parents are played by Bridget, Fonda, and Chris Isaak. Yes, that Chris Isaak, Wicked Game, who did act occasionally, and he's very good in this. But yeah, that little boy is one suspected child out of possibly, well, it's free, isn't it? It turns out to be free, who they suspect to be the reincarnation of the Buddha. And I like the way they give him the book, and as he goes into the story in the book, we get flashbacks into the past. We didn't expect that when we was watching it, did we?
No, not at all. No, I thought Keanu Reeves was going to be the little boy all grown up. So I was quite surprised when it started flashing back to the original Buddha and his story, which was fascinating, to be honest.
It was. There was some really interesting imagery in this, you know, with temptations that are sent to him, and yeah, it kind of reminded me of like similar stories told about Christ and whatnot. You know, he's tempted in the desert. There's a bit where he's meditating, and he's tempted by these 6 women who aren't really women, obviously, but they're put there to tempt him. And it's very clever film. It's very thought-provoking. Bridget Fonda back then, she was like a really big name, and she's good.
Yeah.
You know, as the mother. Some of the other actors in it, I'll be honest, we don't really know.
No.
But the guys that played the Tibetan monks, they were superb in this.
Yes, they were. I loved them.
Is there anything in particular you'd like to raise about this before we dive into the special features on the disc?
I'd just say that I just really loved the film, and I think at one point we both said it reminded us of Stargate.
Yes.
And I'm sure there was even some music that sounded pretty similar to some of the music in Stargate. I don't know.
Yeah, this may seem an odd link,
Yeah.
Stargate to Little Buddha from Bertolucci, but there was similar music, and Keanu Reeves did look like the main villain from Stargate.
Yes.
Ra, yeah, he looked very much like Ra, so I can see that. I'm not sure when Stargate was made, but maybe if it was after this, I think it might have been 94, I'm not sure. But yeah, it could have been an influence, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. If you know, let us know. But yes, this is a beautiful release again from Imprint.
Yes, fantastic.
So a huge thank you to Imprint and Via Vision for setting us up with this review copy. We're chuffed to bits that we got this, and really pleased to have it in the collection. And if you like your quality films, you know, especially back from the 90s and stuff, this is a really good one. Bertolucci comes with a high recommend. He's a great director, and Imprint also, they release fantastic releases. Lovely slipcase.
Really nice, really glossy.
Yeah. We will put purchase links in the description. And I like that cover too. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some really lovely artwork on that. Lovely presentation. And I think we have some imagery inside too.
Yep.
We do, and this is the 3 children on the inside that are suspected to be the reincarnation of the Buddha. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how this is loosely based on a true story too. I do like that.
Yeah.
And we're also loaded out with special features on this one, aren't we, Shaz?
We are indeed. There's a 1080p high definition presentation from a 4K scan of the original negative.
Which looks incredible.
Audio commentary by filmmaker and film historian Jim Hemphill. That is recent interview. It's 2023. Can't get more recent than that.
No, that's really new.
The Making of Little Buddha. It's a featurette. Interview with producer Jeremy Thomas. Interview with director Bernardo Bertolucci. So that was from 1993, that interview.
Archival then.
A Great Adventure, interview with supervising art director Andrew Sanders. So that's a recent interview from this year. Reincarnation of Sound, interview with supervising sound editor Eddie Joseph. And again, that's a recent interview. Buddhist Lines, interview with dialogue coach Constantine Gregory. And that's from now as well. And the theatrical trailer. So that's tons.
That's pretty loaded up.
Yeah, wow.
And obviously they couldn't do a more recent interview with Bernardo Bertolucci because sadly we lost him back in 2018. But yeah, that's a high recommend from us. Here at HKB, we love our dramas, we love our films of all types. And this one is a particularly beautiful, colourful, sumptuous, fantastic performance from Reeves. You know, sometimes you don't think of him as an actor, but watch this film and you'll change your mind because he does put in a stellar performance. That's a recommend from me.
It's a recommend from me too.
So we will catch you guys on the next one.